Hello, my name is MooingCat and welcome to my first impressions of the 2023 winter event. Summer event. In this video, I will go through all the new stuff in the summer event, the new reward, the new, quote-unquote, new minigame, and I'll give some of my first impressions. Now, before I do, I just want to quickly mention that I'm recovering from a cold, so apologize if the audio, if my voiceover isn't as it usually is. Alright, so let's jump right into it, and let's start by looking at the rewards, and then I'll go over some of the mechanics later on. So, the main building is the trading post. Let me actually use this. So, the trading post at level 9, it is 4x5, so relatively small. It gives some attack and defense for attacking army, as well as some attack for defending army for your city defense, which, well, now it's going to be a little bit more useful than before with the guild expedition level 5. Anyways, it gives between 6 and 10% attack boost for attacking army, depending on your age. You can see in the future here it gives 9. It gives between 21 and 25% defense boost for attacking army, and it gives between 16 and 20% attack boost for city defense. So it's not actually that big of a difference between Bronze Age and Space Ages. It's actually one of the lowest gaps between them. But yeah, that's the attack boosts, and they're quite alright. If you combine the attack boosts, they are on par with the likes of Mountain Reserve, Heroes Tavern, and so on. Although it does skew towards towards attacking defense, so for many it'll probably be slightly below the likes of Mountain Reserve, House of the Wolf, Heroes Tavern, and so on. Alright, it also gives some forge points. It gives between 10 and 14, depending on your age. It gives between 21 and 24 goods, depending on your age. It gives 100% coin boost per day, which is actually very interesting, very nice actually. For me personally, I am running out of coins on my higher age units world, and if I'm able to save up a bunch of these, activate all at the same time, I'll be able to produce a lot in one day. So I'm actually quite happy to see those coin boosts. But even if you're not using them, they do sell quite nicely in the antique dealer. I don't remember exactly how much, but I think it's a decent amount, like 800, 1000, something like that. But it's alright. So not mad about happy with that. It also gives a fragment of this Buccaneers Bay upgrade kit, the golden upgrade kit, which you can use to get the Buccaneers Bay. This one, it basically just gives more of each value. It gives between 11 and 15% attack boost for attacking army, 31 to 35% defense boost for attacking army, and between 26 and 30% attack boost for city defense. And actually, what I was talking about with comparing it to Mountain Reserves and so on, that's for this level. At the previous level, it is below. So at level 9, it's below those, but at the final level, level 10, it's roughly on par with those. It also gives between 14 and 18 forge points, which is actually really nice. That's up to 0.82 per tile in the latest ages, which is very nice. It gives between 26 and 30 goods, and it also gives the 100% coins boost. And once you do get it up to the final level, you don't produce the fragments for the golden upgrade kit anymore. So that's main building. Overall, quite a good one. I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular, but very good building. I will definitely be building it in my city. So that's the main building, but we do also have a bunch of other building. Let's first talk about the Buccaneers Hideouts. Here we have 3 1x1 building. Now this is in the event pass, but you can also get each of them individually as daily specials. So let's go through them. The hidden goods here, it gives a fragment of a 40% attack boost for attacking army. So this event introduces some new attack boosts, which is quite interesting. I'm not quite sure why they want to have new ones, because they kind of do the same as the ones we already have, or at least the attacking ones. But instead of lasting not actually, I think they last for 8 hours, the red ones. These only last for 1 hour. If you look here, you see that you get the boost for 1 hour. There are 2 variations, one for defense boost for attacking army and one for attack boost for attacking army. The attack version does not stack, but the defense one does stack. So there's that. So yeah, this one gives 1 fragment of the 40% version, and if motivated, 1 fragment of the 60% attack boost version. I don't know how many fragments you need, but I imagine it will probably be 15 or 30. We'll have to check that out. And it also gives 1 forge point, and it's not in the tooltip, but it also produces, or has a 50% chance of producing 1 good and a 50% chance of producing 3 goods. Nothing spectacular, but it's quite alright for a 1x1 building. Then we have the PYR8 Marauder, which, as Ubernerd wrote on the forum, Pirate. This is the Pirate Marauder. This one gives 3% defense for defending army. That is actually scaling, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it gives between 1 and 4% defense boost for defending army. It gives 1 artillery unit, which is very interesting. So yeah, each day it gives a unit, but it is only the artillery unit. Definitely interesting, but depending on which age you are in, it'll either be good or not so good. In some ages, it's a really good building. In others, you don't really use the artillery units. So interesting. This one gives fragments of defense boost for attacking army. So both a 40% variation and a 60% variation. And then finally we have the Paradise Rose. This one gives between 1 and 2% attack boost for defending army. It gives a fragment of 40% defense boost and a fragment for 40% attack boost for attacking army. So 1 of each this time. So overall, I think they're fine. I'm not sure if they're so small and I do have some space, so I'll probably just build them anyways. I think if nothing else, you can sell the boost to the antique dealer and it's probably going to be quite alright. So I don't know. The hidden goods is probably my one I would place for the forge point. Or actually, depending on the situation, the Marauder as well for the artillery unit will be quite interesting. All right, let's move on. So, as I mentioned, you can get these from daily specials. You can see that the one today is the Pirate Marauder. This event has a calendar. I'll go over the mechanic in a moment. But here you can get the Skull Cave, which you can see. Actually, yeah, you can see it here. The Skull Cave, which, as you can see, is quite a good building. So this one gives between 11 and 20% attack boost for attacking army, and the same for the city defense. That is between 2.75 and 5 attack per tile. It also gives either 5 or 6 forge points, depending on the age, which is up to 1.5 forge points per tile. It's a crazy good building, but you can only get it by completing the calendar, which, well, right now it seems like you might be able to, but it's similar to the winter event where it's probably going to be quite tricky to do, and you do lose out on a lot of the daily specials you actually want if you go for it. There is one more reward that I want to talk about before I get into the mechanics. You might perhaps already see what the mechanics are, but there is one more. This event has a Slay Builder / Elves workshop mechanic where you can get some additional rewards for diamonds, and among these there is a Cartographer house reward. This reward here, and the Cartographer's house, it is 2x3. It does require a road. It gives between 10 and 18% attack boost for attacking army, and it also gives between 6 and 8 forge points. So really good building. Not as good as the Skull Cave, but a good building still. But yeah, you can only get it by paying diamonds if you're able to get it here. All right, I think that's all for the rewards. Let's talk about the mechanics. So the event currency is doubloons. You get them the usual ways, through quests and so on. Let me just get some that I can spend, and then I'll go into the game. Now the doubloons here, you can use them in the minigame, and you might notice a lot of familiar things here. Even though the look is different, this is pretty much the winter event. It's a reskin of the winter event, and there's only really 2 or 3 differences. The first difference is that instead of 18 presents to choose from, here you have 16 tiles, so slightly fewer tiles to choose from. But other than that, the selection mechanic are exactly the same. You click on a tile, you pay 10 doubloons, you get a reward, and you also get some progress towards the grand prize. Between 1 and 3 progress towards the grand prize. So for each 10 doubloons you spend, you get on average 2 progress towards the grand prizes. So you can just continue selecting. I don't really like that that you get the progress immediately. It's, I don't know, I prefer just being able to pick up presents as quickly as possible. If you click out here, you can skip the animation, but I don't know, I find it a little bit annoying. In here, you can find the calendar key, which is exactly the same as the winter event. When you find the calendar key and go to the calendar, you can pick up that day's daily reward, which here is a finished goods production item. And if you're able to open all of these, you get the Aztec calendar chest, which includes the skull cave. So all of that is exactly the same as the winter event. Now, if I hover over the calendar key, here it says that after all doors are opened, you'll receive doubloons. Now, in the winter event, after you had picked up 1 key on that given day, any subsequent key fragments you picked up would give you 10 doubloons or 10 stars. I'm not sure if that's the case here. The text would suggest it you only get doubloons after you have opened all doors. However, if you look at the symbol here, it does have a plus 10 doubloons. So I'm not sure. Perhaps you get the doubloons still from this after you have picked up the first key of a day, in addition to fragments, or not. I don't know. You only need 4 fragments this time, which does help. And you also have in the daily challenges here, you are able to get the same number of fragments as you could in the winter event. So that means that you are able to pick up 13 to 14 keys, full keys here from the daily challenges. And that also combined with the fact that you get that you have fewer tiles here, it means that I do actually think it might be possible to complete the calendar for free. But I'm not sure yet. I'll just leave it there. I think it might be, but I'll have to look into the math later on. Let's just continue. We have the double payout. There is also the show 2 option, but in the winter event, we had one of these rewards that would give you 14 stars back, 14 event currency. That is not available in this event, so you do get less or fewer doubloons back from the minigame. Some supplies, okay, definitely didn't want that. So yeah, what else do we have? We have the daily specials, we can switch those. Let's just see if we get anything exciting. 40% defense for attacking army. Yeah, definitely not that interested in that. But yeah, so the mechanics here, pretty much exactly the same as the winter event. So what are my initial thoughts, my first thoughts of the event? When it comes to the rewards, I think they're quite all right. Nothing really that truly amazes me or wows me. The skull cave is of course really good, the reward here, but you can only get 1 of it, and I'm not sure if it is worth going for. The main building, it's good, but it's nothing special. Yeah, it's good. I definitely will place it, but yeah, nothing special. The 3 1x1 buildings here, They're all right, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be placing any of them. I don't know. I'm probably not going to go for them, so I probably will not get them, because I don't think you get them in the regular grand prizes. Let me just get a quick look through here. No, you only get them in Event Pass and as a daily special, and I will probably save my doubloons for other days with other daily specials. So in terms of the rewards, quite alright, nothing special, but yeah, quite alright. Now for the mechanics. Well, as you can see, the old wheel mechanics have been removed. The wheel mechanic was probably I would say my second least favorite mechanic of events, so I don't mind it being removed. It did have some nice things like fighting against your neighbors, but in general I was not a big fan of the wheel mechanic. However, they replaced it with my least favorite event mechanic. They replaced it with the winter event mechanics, and I really don't like those. It's all based on luck. You don't really have any impact on things, which I don't know. It's nice that we have a simple event after 3 very complicated events, but I much prefer the choose one of 3 events. They are also simple, but you do have some agency. You can choose what you want to focus on. Here you can't really. The calendar, it's in winter event. It has never been possible. Here it might be with the new or with the lower amount of tiles and fragments, but I don't know. I probably will still not go for it. And also depending on if you get doubloons back from key fragments after you have opened the first daily key. If you do, then it will also hurt you to play every day. You'll get more doubloons if you play all on one day. So yeah. What else? The treasure map, the reindeer sleigh. I've never liked that mechanic. It's never. Yeah, I don't like it. You have to spend the diamonds to get it, and yeah, it's usually not worth it. And if it is worth it, then I don't know. You could go for it if you want to, but I've never been a fan of it. So overall, I'm not really that excited for the event. It's fine enough, but it does last a month, which is a really long time, and yeah, I would rather have another rework of the summer event instead of this. It looks really cool as usual. The graphics team usually doing a good job, but the mechanics I'm not a big fan of. So yeah, don't think I need to go on further. I think you have a good idea of my first impressions. Yeah, in terms of rewards, it should be quite a decent event. I think I did have a quick look, and it looks like you might be able to get the second building for under 20,000 diamonds, which is quite decent, but I'm not sure if I'm going to spend a lot of diamonds on this. I'll probably spend most on wildlife, I imagine. Anyways, I think that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and before I end, let me thank my Patreons for their support. I would like to thank Homestar, Lorden, Kim Cayley, Rolf the 8th, Dan Sumnad, Shanti, Hecate, Dark Matter, Mylia, Merrick B, Hugo Count von Count, Drew the Generous, Susan Weiss, Rocco, Spectrum No Remorse, Mirthan Emrys, Privacy Avenger, Ashbourne, Arkler, Nova, Jibber, Ninja Alin, Henrik der Erklärbär, Mattia, Adarel, Mike, Obsidian Obsessed, Atomic, Ruth, Flavius Belisarius, Karen, and Dennis. Thanks a lot for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.